Hey people, welcome to my YouTube channel, my first video. Go easy on me, but I wanted to start the channel with how I reset my life at 30. I'm now 31, but it's a big subject. It's got so much detail and it's been a year since I did this. So I thought maybe put it into a channel and just let people find out how to do it, whether they want to do the same but don't know how, and people that have done it that can relate. You know, there's so many different scenarios that people can connect with this. Hopefully it's something that can help you, or for some fun for you to listen to me talking shit. I've written some notes to try and stay on track. Get a drink because we've got quite a lot to go through. So if you could do me a small favor and hit the subscribe and like button just to get me going on this thing. Like I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just chatting to you guys, and hopefully you'll come back in the comments. But that would really help, and I would really appreciate it if you're subscribing and liking this video. So this all started with me resetting my life in 2023. I went on my first solo holiday to Cyprus, and I just had some spare money, and I was like, let's break up November, because who likes November? And I remember being at the beach. Your whole view was just the sea, and the sunset was insane at this place. I just said to myself, like, I need this in my life. I need to have access to a beach, to be in the water for a cool swim in the morning, and to just dip my feet when I've done loads of walking, the grounding aspect, and of course the sunset. Yeah, I just sort of, it literally happened from there, and I didn't know where I wanted to move to. Purpose behind it, when you're born into where you grow up and where you spend your first 20, 30 years of the life, that's what your parents put you in. That was their environment, so you naturally fell into that environment. But it isn't somewhere that you actually chose as your environment. And that's quite big. You realise that there's more to life than this small location that you're in. And you know the feeling when you go on holiday and you come away, and even when you know your holiday's coming to an end, the dread and the that feeling that you get, that speaks volumes. But when you truly connect with your soul to what it needs and what it's telling you, it all makes sense. And that was my moment when I was on my holiday, and I just realized I need this. This is just, for me, this is peace. This is my next step. So yeah, it all started from the solo holiday, and I've picked the pen up again. And then 3 months later, I was announcing my business closure, announcing it on my Instagram, where I had maybe 4,800 or something followers, which I'd built up all on my own. Like, that was my little beauty family business. Like, even the followers that didn't come to me for services were so supportive and just still part of it. And announcing it to everyone, saying, I'm leaving, I'm closing the business, I'm no longer doing beauty, that was huge. Telling the business people, I'm off, see you later, don't know where, but I'm off. It's ballsy, and I get it, loads of people wouldn't dare do something like that, that's fine. I just had that burning desire to see what else was out there in the world. Like, I didn't want to just get to the end of my life and I'm still in my area that I grew up in, and I'm still around the same people that I've always known to be around, and know nothing else outside in the world. So yeah, I just thought, do it. I'm at an age where I'm fit, I'm healthy, and I'm able to do these things, and I would be financially able to do them. So do it now, because I'm not someone that will think on something and not do it. My biggest fear in life is to get old and regret not doing things. Like, that scares the shit out of me, because what have you been doing? Like, you can't do it again when you get to that point. Do it now. One of the fun things about doing this move and selling everything was I'd obviously got all my clothes, so many things. The consumerism was just crazy, and I'd got so much stuff. So I thought, right, how can I sell my things without paying fees on everything to just sell the things? Like, I needed it gone quick, but I also needed to use a lot of it up until I was leaving because of the seasons. I decided to create a thrift shop in my house. because I worked from home and obviously there was clients coming in, maybe 15 clients a day. So it was a really easy place for people to see what I've got for sale without scrolling something. They could see it, hold it up, try it on. It just made sense. So followers would come and ask, can I book and come and have a look at what you've got? So yeah, it was brilliant. And I actually loved the people that I met that weren't clients that came and bought stuff that I wouldn't have met them otherwise. So that was really nice. And selling my childhood home. So my house that I lived in, that I worked from, I'd done a full renovation on it in 2023 maybe, going into 2024, and just absolutely gutted it. I'd already got it to a nice standard, but it needed the big horrible jobs doing to it, like the skirting boards, the architraves, the door frame, doors, plastering, kitchen. The kitchen wasn't bad, but it was 12 years old, and I thought, let's just do it. If I'm doing everything else, just do it. So yeah, I project managed, essentially, my own house refurb. Yeah, it was a bit messy, it was crazy, it was pricey, but it needed doing. And the reason I did that was I wanted my property to gain maximum value when it came to sell. And having experience in buying and selling properties from before I worked for myself, I have ceiling prices on types of properties. So mid-terrace houses, semi-detached, detached, they all hold a different value, and there's a ceiling price that you can normally achieve on them based on the fact that the downfall for a mid-terrace is you've got neighbours attached both sides. The semi is the fact that you've got one neighbour attached one side. So it's always tricky to get a good price on something like a mid-terrace, which my house was. But it was massive. Like, it is the most perfect, I'll have to find a floor plan to show you how big the house was. But the layout was just like a detached house. It just had neighbours either side, which anyone would see it and be like, no, not interested. But I'd done everything. So when I put it up for sale, I had in mind the price that I wanted for it, and I did get the price in mind that I wanted for it. Manifestation, law of attraction. If you say you want something and you speak it confidently enough, you will get it at some point. So got the house sold, and I was so proud of where I'd got it to. But I'd outgrown it, and I just knew I didn't want to live here in this life that I had for long-term purposes. I wanted just a new environment. And then I also decided to, based on the equity that I received from my property, I didn't want all of it in my bank. I thought, one, I don't want to be silly with it. If I see that in my bank, I'll be very, oh, that's fine. So I decided to put it into a property. This wasn't to tie me to another location. This was just to have something coming in, or flip it and get my money out without doing anything. So I decided, let's have a look at off-plan properties. And this was in Liverpool. I'd never been to Liverpool. The person that I spoke to, I just got really good rapport with him. The apartment was just insane. It was like something you'd see in Dubai. And I thought, wow, this is what I've never seen before in the UK. So I feel like this is gonna be a good one. And I managed to get a good chunk off the price. I negotiated and just went in really low. And they said, yeah. So I got a really good price for my property, for the investment property. And that secured a chunk of my equity from the property that I'd sold. So it was safe and it was untouchable and tied into something worthy. Same day, same weekend, I sold my business on the 14th of December and I sold my property on the 16th of December. That same day, I exchanged on the off-plan property. So there was quite a lot happening that weekend. But I did it, just stayed organised, stuck to the timescales and switched off from it. Didn't overthink it, didn't worry what would go wrong, because until something goes wrong, don't worry about it. Like, just address it if it happens. And the key word is if. Things aren't always gonna go wrong. Just because you've seen it or heard it from someone else. I've never bought an investment property before. I've never bought property off plan. I'm not experienced in that field. I've just rented and sold properties. Again, it was just something that I wanted to do to be sensible with the money that I was getting and not waste it. And the rest was for traveling and just setting me up for the next year. That's what I told myself, and that's what I did. So after the 16th of December, I had no home and I had no job. And then I flew to Thailand on the 29th of December, and that was the start of my where am I going chapter. So that's how I restarted my life. My advice to anyone that is interested in doing this or having the urge to want to change the environment but doesn't know where to start. Obviously, finances, I'm not an advisor, but they do play a big part. And if you are in a position to sell a property or rent it out, then definitely do so and get, you know, your maximum that you can get for it. And also the open-mindedness of it, the believing in yourself. Like, it's a big risk, and the worst thing that happens is you go back to your home environment because it didn't work. Hopefully people don't criticize you for whatever choice that you make, because you're being the person that's brave enough to try it in the first place. So ignore all the outside noise and just focus on what it is that you do want to achieve in life. I didn't have a plan. I left with no plan, just money in the bank. So don't worry about a plan if you don't have one. Test things out. I was testing countries out to where I thought that I could live. I've still got a few more to see for this year. I'm going over to America, and they're on my list to test out whether I can live there. I just don't want to end up back in a rat race kind of lifestyle, because that's what I left in the UK. And it was comfortable. I was working 4 days a week and I was financially comfortable. I was happy, but I just knew there was more to life than that. That's not being ungrateful. That's just striving for better. And the work I've done on myself, I'm not going to put that to waste and just continue the life that I'm grateful for. I'm still grateful for it, but there's still room for improvement all the time. Life is just constant steps to the next level, and don't feel bad for wanting more from life. Don't feel bad for saying, I'm happy with this, but I want this. Go for it, get it, try it. So if you enjoyed listening to my jumbled life story of how I reset my life at 30, just let you know that it's not too late for anyone to start over. There's no age limit, there's no restrictions other than your mind. So if you want a test run, plan a test run. You don't have to fully sell up, commit like I did, but don't pause or withdraw your choices in life out of the fear of what other people are going to think or say. You have to just do it. That's the kind of mindset we're going for on this channel, guys. So if you like it, stick around and we'll speak soon.